Okay, so this isn't pre-planned or anything like that. I just click record and I want to do this prime number video as it relates to decoding. And a prime number is a whole number greater than 1 that can only be divided evenly by two numbers, which is 1 and itself. Okay, and I'm going to show you this as far as decoding. I've been meaning to do a video like this. um, I just haven't. Okay, and like I said, none of this is pre-planned. This is just going off the top of my head, and maybe using some examples that I've pointed out. So this is completely random. Okay, and I'm going to show you some examples with some celebrities as well, right? So I'll start with 181, okay? As my phone is going off in the background, it's nice to be busy lately, for sure. You have to balance things out in your life, and that's what I am doing more so lately than I have in the past. And you may hear my phone go off. I in the background as well. I try to do these videos and just kind of incorporate them into me as a person. I don't really believe in like heavy editing and like putting on a show and trying to portray something I'm not, like I'm some YouTube character or something. But you see, I'm going to start with 181 here, okay? Now, 181 is the 42nd prime number, right? And you know what's amazing is Arizona. I'm out here in Arizona. Look how Arizona equals 42. And again, the 42nd prime number is 181. Arizona is the Grand Canyon state. Notice how Grand Canyon equals 181, the 42nd prime number. Grand Canyon State, 181. And a big college out here, Arizona State University, ASU Sun Devils, located in Tempe, Arizona. Look, Tempe, Arizona has the 181 as well. Okay, so I can just do that and just let you take a look. So this is the Gematrinator calculator. So look at that right there. The letters converted to numbers. Look at that. Again, 181 is the 42nd prime number. Arizona equals 42. Arizona, the Grand Canyon State, 181. Grand Canyon, 181. Tempe, Arizona, 181. Isn't that amazing? And I thought, it may be a good idea to just, you know, throw an image or so up there for you as well. So you see Arizona, you see this is the Grand Canyon State, and that's where I am located right there. I kind of wish that I was actually located what you see right there. I mean, that would be amazing. Here's another image here. You know, who knows what really goes on in the Grand Canyon, right? But there you go again. Look at that, how gorgeous that is. So I showed you just kind of on the fly there with the Arizona connection with prime numbers. And I'm going to move on to this other example here, Philadelphia. Okay. Now there's a few different ones in here. I could probably utilize a couple of these, but I'm going to for sure show you this 101. So this is ABC 1, 2, 3. Look at the chart breakdown. That's simple, 26 letters. Look at that right there. So Philadelphia equals 101, right? Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, right? Look at the 101. That's the 26th prime number. Okay? So Philadelphia 101 connects to the 26, again, because 101 is the 26th prime number. What celebrity, I mean, I'm sure there was many, right? But one that we touch on a lot, I shouldn't even say it like that, one that we speak on a lot in the decoding world is Kobe Bryant, born in Philadelphia. Look, Bryant equals 26. And Kobe Bryant actually died on the 26th day of the year as well, right? Look, January 26th. You see that? You know, and Kobe born in Philly, you know, as I'll just kind of pull up this, see if this image pulls up right here. They like to pull up blurry. You just got to try them a couple of times. And for sure those Facebook ones, for sure right there. I don't know, whatever. But there's a blurry Kobe image right there. But born in Philadelphia, Philadelphia equals 101. That's the 26th prime number. And again, Bryant equals 26. Who does everybody say Kobe's game is like modeled after? Michael Jordan, right? Look at Jordan has that 26. Remember, Michael Jordan's first game also was on the 26th day of October. You also see Jordan has 62 right there, which is 26 reversed, okay? And you may be able to connect some other 26s as well. I can't quite remember all of these. See, Chicago, I was thinking Chicago might have had the 26. But remember, Michael Jordan, I don't know if I mentioned his last game was against the Philadelphia 76ers as well. And, you know, LeBron James passed Kobe on the scoring list one day before Kobe died. That game was against the Philadelphia 76ers, right? So I guess since we're here, Philadelphia 223 in the reverse cipher. Look at the cipher breakdown right there. You see Philadelphia 223. Well, remember Michael Jordan put 23 on the map. Okay, MJ, M is the 13th letter, J is the 10th. Added up, you get 23. So 223 is like 23, but Philadelphia in the reverse cipher with the alphabet, you see it right there. 223 is the 48th prime number, and Michael Jordan's birthday is the 48th day of the year, okay? So you see that connection that's undeniable. Jordan's got the February 17, 1963, as you see right there, okay? So, you know, you can't really deny those connections with Jordan. Right here, you see his birthday, the 48th day of the year, and that's the exact day he's born, 2/17/63. Look, February 17, the 48th day of the year. What's with all the Facebook pictures? Those are the ones that pull up blurry, man. What about X? There. So you see Michael Jordan born on the 48th day of the year, 48th prime number 223. Philadelphia equals 223. The number 23 heavily connected to Michael Jordan. He retired in 2003, which is like 23. And you know, we could go on and on and on about that. Look at air equals 26 as well. Okay? Air equals 26. Bryant 26. Jordan 26. Kobe dead on the 26th day of the year. Michael Jordan's first game with the Bulls on the 26th of October. You see that? So Michael Air Jordan, you see Air has that 26 as well. Okay, so again, a prime number, a whole number greater than 1 that can only be divided evenly by two numbers, 1 and itself. Okay, so again, you see that right there. You see the examples over here, right? 13 has only 2 factors, itself and 1, so it is a prime number. 4 has 3 factors, itself, 1 and 2, so it is not a prime number, right? You see that right there. Okay, so again, this is all random. So we hit on 181, 223, and 101, right? So what will be the next prime number we look at? So what we will do, we're going to look at 911, okay? Now that's, right away we know that that's like an emergency number, huh? We know 911 is an emergency number. Now, look at this right here. 911, 911. Notice right there how that is the 156th prime number. I feel like there's a 911 connection somewhere in there, but we'll see if I think of it as I go along here. But you know, Kanye West, his daughter right here, it might be Kim Kardashian's daughter as well. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. But look, Northwest. Okay, so remember the 156th prime number. Yeah, it's daughter of Kim and Kanye. But remember, look at her birthday, the 15th day of the 6th month, 156, and the 156th prime number is 911. Notice here, look how it says number 19, number 119 most popular. You see that? And that's on the fly right there. Look at that. Number 119 most popular, like 911. Right? Like that 911 connection, 156 prime number 911. Notice how her birth sign is a Gemini, which represents the twins, like twin towers. You see that right there on the fly? Gemini, the third zodiac, represents duality, communication, adaptability, and curiosity, symbolized by the twins. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And look, you know what I'm saying? Look at that symbol right there. It kind of looks like two towers. You see that right there? Right? And also kind of looks like an 11. Kim Kardashian, Kanye. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. Keeping up with the Kardashians. Keeping has the K. When she was 2, she began to more frequently appear on episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. 2, like twins. This world it's a fake world that we live. Even that June birthday, flip the 6, June the 6th month, and you get a 9, like September. But look, Northwest, you see that north right there? Was the North Tower hit during 9/11? Yes, the North Tower of the World Trade Center was hit by a hijacked plane. Look at this, American Airlines Flight 11. In the 11th state, 2 buildings that look like an 11. Come on, right? What do you think about that? See, so this is what we're talking about with these prime numbers. Northwest, the 15th day of the 6-month birthday, 156, and the 156 prime number is 911. Do you like that? Do you like that connection with the Gemini hit right there? Now, let's just go back here. Look at these other celebrity birthdays. There's probably something. Look at Ice Cube. There's probably something there as well. Look at Courtney Cox right here. Remember, Friends was the location was in New York, and I think it was Chandler and Joey who had apartment number 19, which is 19. Chaos equals 19. To go with that 9/11 connection, right? 119, 19. Look at right here, you see? Chandler and Joey's apartment number, apartment 19. And there's probably more connections there as well. Isn't that amazing? Look at this guy, Mohammed Salah or Saleh. He's got that same birthday, 156. 156 prime number 911. I think there was a guy named Mohammed associated with 9/11. Okay, look. The name Mohammed is associated with the 9/11 attacks in two primary contexts related to key figures in the terrorist plot. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Muhammad Atta. And there's that number 2 again. Two like twins. You see that? Right? Come on, man. I mean, is there any more? And then we can possibly do one more here. Man, this ad over here is annoying, whatever that is. You see that? Look, Winger, who made his professional debut. Winger, like wing of a plane. Come on. What are we doing here, right? Right? Another Gemini, obviously. So you see how that works? Look at this, Sissy Sheridan, which is kind of like Kardashian with that Northwest connection. There's probably something with West as well with 9/11, possibly. We hit on the North connection, but if you want to go look at a West and show a connection there, you can. Isn't that amazing? You see Bailey, the wrestler here, pro wrestler, she kind of semi looks like Courtney Cox with that same birthday. Okay? She kind of looks like Courtney Cox with that same birthday, but that could be a whole nother video, right? So you see how this goes. Look, No Limit J. Remember Jay-Z. This is a YouTube star right here. But remember his name got J in it. Remember, Jay-Z released the blueprint on 9/11, 2001, the day the towers went down. Blueprint, like kind of how to put together or deconstruct a building. Interesting, right? So you get this guy, Jay. You see that right there? There's probably a No Limit tank connection as well that, you could bring up with those towers falling. If you wanted to go a little bit further on that, something of that nature. So do you see that? So you see how these prime numbers work and how we can use um, celebrities, and that's another aspect of decoding where you see these prime numbers come into play. I kind of want to do one more before we wrap this up. So I did go ahead and pause it there because I kind of had a brain freeze. And here's another one right here. And again, this connects to Kobe Bryant one more time. And Kobe's death really sparked, like, I don't know the proper terminology to use, but Kobe's death was so obviously scripted, whether he really died or not, that it lands again with this 157 here. You see right there, look at the 157, okay? Kobe Bryant equals 157. And you see 157, you see is the 37th prime number, right? Bryant equals 37, okay? And, Bryant was also involved in an air-related death, which kind of comes back around to that 9/11, airplanes and more death, right? And Kobe Bryant equaling 157. Remember, United States equals 157. A lot of, theories out there connecting like some, political affiliations or motives with that event, right? So United States equals 157 as well. I got a lot of tabs up here. But you see 157, the 37th prime number. Look at this, Kobe Bryant, 157. Just Bryant alone, 37. Lakers may have that 37 as well. No, it doesn't, but Jordan has the 37. You see that? So you get more connections there with Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Don't forget his dad, Joe Bryant death date. If it pops up, Joe Bryant death date. Guess I'll have to type it. Joe Bryant death date. Look at that. The 15th day of the 7th month. Kobe's dad. 157. Okay? And Joe Bryant, you get the J, Joe, Bryant B, kind of like Joe Biden. And that's our political connection with the 157, right? United States equaling 157. And I think Joe Biden put out a quote about the Kobe death as well. Vanessa, I'm keeping you in my prayers today. Grief is a heavy burden to bear, especially with the eyes of the world watching, but there will come a day, I promise you, when the memory of Kobe and Gianna will bring a smile to your lips before it brings a tear to your eye. You see that? United States 157. And it was a 157-day span from Kobe's birthday before his death to his death date. So his last birthday, 8/23/2019, he dies 1/26/2020. Look, 100. Oh yeah, and that's 156 days after his birthday he dies, which connects to that 9/11 because remember the 9/11 is the 156 prime number. So, and I mentioned the connection with the air-related tragedies. Look at that, 157-day span from his last birthday to his death date, with his name equaling 157, and that's his dad's death date, the 15th day of the 7th month. So you see that connection with the 156, don't you? With the 156 prime number being 911, so you can see how that works. You can see exactly how that works right there, right? So you're going to get those air-related tragedies just like that. Isn't that amazing? And I don't know if you noticed, but notice how that 157-day span, Kobe's last birthday to his death date, notice how it's the same as 22 weeks, 3 days. And remember, Philadelphia 223, where Kobe was born. 223, the 48th prime number. Michael Jordan born on the 48th day of the year. So, what do you think about that? Right? I hope you enjoyed. Maybe I'll do like some kind of part 2 at some point. Maybe I'll do some kind of part two at some point. But that's amazing, huh? So, that's a little video on prime numbers and how it connects uh, to, it's one of the elements we use within decoding these fake stories, and I had some celebrity examples to show you. We had Arizona in there as well, Philadelphia, Kobe, Michael, and some other characters as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope, it's recording fine, right? Prime numbers. Okay. Until next time, peace.